Hundreds of people taking to the streets right here in the city over the weekend to protest the police killing of Tyre Nichols in Memphis. It was a similar scene in other cities all across the country.
We're getting some reaction and analysis today from someone with experience dealing with police issues. Civil rights attorney Esmeralda Simmons has served on the board of the city's Civilian Complaint Review Board, and she founded the Center for Law and Social Justice at Medgar Evers College, where she served as executive director for 34 years.
Ms. Simmons, welcome to the Pix More News. Thank you for being here this morning to talk about this.
I'm very happy to be here. This is an important issue.
Absolutely. Now, you were out of the city this weekend, right? But you saw what was going on here, and you saw the protests around the country, as well as what was happening here in New York. What was your reaction to what you saw play out across the country?
My reaction was identical to the people in the street. I'm very, very happy people are taking to the street and then making their voices be heard, because we are tired of SWAT teams. We are tired of unnecessary deaths. It's these special tactical forces that have been responsible for a disproportionate number of killings, unnecessary killings of innocent people. Whether I should take the word innocent out, of people. What we need to see is for the mayor to disband the latest SWAT team that has just been recently reinstated in New York City. Those same SWAT teams were responsible for the deaths of Amadou Diallo, Sean Bell, Eric Gardner, and on and on and on. The city needs to know that we are tired of this brutality and terrorism. What else needs to happen is we need to have police forces, 95% of whom are honest, hardworking protectors of human lives. We need to have all of them repeatedly and constantly trained as to what is correct procedure and what is not correct procedure. They meet every morning with their commanding officer and are told, given instructions before they hit the streets.
Right.
We like to have those instructions include not killing people.
Yes. You know, and the sad part is some of these deaths don't necessarily involve special SWAT teams. I mean, just regular police officers. We saw what happened with George Floyd. So do you feel that policing in the country has changed at all since George Floyd's death?
Very little. And the ones that have changed have been the response. The ones that have changed because the federal government intervened and took over the police departments. Yeah, we don't want that. We want police departments to be freestanding, and we want their officials to be elected by the people, but we want them to understand that this is a continuation of decades and centuries of terrorism against Black people and other people. We don't need to have that kind of restrictive environment in our society.
Right, and I'm listening to what you're saying very carefully, and you've also served on the Civilian Complaint Review Board, right?
I currently serve on the Civilian Complaint Review Board.
So how does that kind of play into all of this, right? And especially here in New York, in terms of filing a complaint, and where does it go from there, and does it differ from maybe elsewhere in the country?
Well, I'm very happy to say that the Civilian Complaint Review Board, I am not the spokesman for the board.
Right.
I'm a member of the board appointed by the public advocate, Jumaane Williams. This board will hear complaints and act. When I say hear, we will take the complaints. There will be a thorough investigation, and then members like me will have to adjudicate those complaints and determine whether or not there has been a violation of rights and deviance from police procedure. This is the largest police force in the country, and the Civilian Complaint Review Board is the oldest and the largest in the country as well. I'm very pleased to serve, but I want you to know that there are thousands of complaints filed every year, and many people who should file don't file, so we encourage them to file, because oftentimes police officers are given instructions instead of punished by taking away days or being fired, so they can learn how to do policing correctly rather than serving and violating people's rights.
I don't know if you actually saw any of the video from this last.
I cannot watch any more videos.
Yeah.
I watch it for the Police Civilian Complaint Review Board. I read about the video. That's enough
I'm
for
with
me.
you. I am with
All
you.
right.
I did the same thing. I couldn't watch it either. But do you foresee that this particular case in Memphis will have any kind of lasting impact on policing?
I believe yes, because the example that was given by the police commissioner there of swiftly firing, and then they indicted these police officers or their equivalents of indicting them for murder, that sends a message. It does not bring back his life.
Right.
But it sends a message to other police officers that they, in fact, cannot participate in this type of cowboy activity and get away with it. It is not policing.
Right.
It's brutality.
Many are saying that the swift action should be the standard and the blueprint moving forward.
Well, you have to respect due process rights and union rights, but swift action is always sends a signal to the folks involved, and will let the community know that their sentiments are not out of line. That we should be outraged.
Yeah, and many are saying that they were able to do it, and specifically in Memphis, because of what you're saying. The union rules are a little different from department to department. Civil rights attorney Esmeralda Simmons, we appreciate your perspective and your time this morning. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.